Listen, there's a lot of things going on today, and a lot of people are watching what's going on, and they're not really paying attention. But unfortunately, it is a good time to pay attention because some things are going on around the world, and they're going to result in affecting here in the United States. And that's kind of why I brought back Emade Salem onto the show here today. Emade, welcome here today.
Thank you, Joe, for inviting me again.
Well, we really brought you here to sell your book, so let's talk about your wonderful book, Undercover.
Undercover, it talks about what really happened in 1993 World Trade Center bombing, and prior to that a little bit, since I started to go undercover for the FBI at 1990, and I had done some cases against the Russian. We had some Russian in Manhattan in New York, and I was fortunate enough to have a request from the FBI to infiltrate this group of Russian through my position in one of the hotels in Manhattan, and I did.
Wonderful. And then you moved on and you worked against those that became the precursors for Al-Qaeda. But Al-Qaeda just means the organization, right?
That's correct. But before I went into Al-Qaeda, I went into the assassination of Rabbi Meir Kahane in Manhattan.
But you assassinated him?
No, there is...
I was like, what?
No, actually, I am the one who was fortunate again enough to go undercover among the group who assassinated him, and I got the admission from the assassin to the FBI, and he's serving life without parole.
You know, you gave a lot of advice to the FBI, to the CIA, and other federal agencies over the years. And would you say that your experience back in the early 90s gave you any insight into what's going on here today?
I believe so, because I lived with this first Al-Qaeda group who established themselves in Manhattan, in Queens, in Brooklyn, in New York area in general. And again, I worked my way up to become the bodyguard of the Blind Sheikh, which is the spiritual leader of Al-Qaeda.
So this is all covered in Undercover, Emade Salem, the story of Al-Qaeda, the FBI here in America.
And that's correct.
So, but since then, a lot of things have been happening. You've been keeping your fingers on the pulse of the Middle East.
I'm keeping my ears close to the ground in the Middle East and in America as well, in the field of counterterrorism.
Now, you also have a webpage.
I do have a webpage. If somebody would like to know more about this information,
that's emadesalem.org.
It's EMADSALEM.org.
Excellent, excellent. So they can find out more about you and keep in contact with you and find you after you've left our show here today.
That's correct.
Now, do you have a lot of people out there following you on Twitter?
On Twitter, I have a group of limited people because I live undercover. I live under assumed identity, and actually my identity this week is the 15th identity since I finished my last case in 1995.
So you like this new alter ego?
Say it again?
You like this new alter ego? You like this new name?
Well, it won't last for long until the next name comes over.
I'm just willing when they start calling you Charlie. I think we should call you Charlie. I think it's a good name.
Charlie is not one of the names.
But you don't like Charlie as a name source. You don't.
No.
Charles?
Not really. No, not a good idea.
Irwin? No. How about just Joe? Oh, that's my name. Forget that. I like my name. You can't have it. Anyways, then I could just picture him showing me a driver's license with my name on it and his picture. I'd get that's a little too close of a friend there, big guy.
Yeah.
So, but you know, things are happening, and a lot of people don't understand is that being that you were not necessarily at the beginning of this, because this kind of radicalism has had, shall we say, cyclical thing in the Muslim world. It's happened before, right?
It had been happening for so long, but unfortunately it started to come to America once the blind sheikh came to America, and that was the first blood being spilled on American soil by the orders he gave to assassinate one of the Muslim imams, and then the Rabbi Meir Kahana, and then
A lot of evil doing.
a lot of assassinations and killing and bombing, and
And
we
ISIS-
have them all on tape.
And ISIS makes those guys look like friendly people.
Well, I'm glad you brought ISIS, because that is the new epidemic now.
Now that's that cute model, right, from Europe?
No, it's
No,
just all over. It's all over, and it's a virus called ISIS.
But it's so chic. They all dress in black.
Well, unfortunately, if we can have the picture number one, you can see how do they look.
You know, some people think that that's very studly.
It is not. Unfortunately, they are evildoers, and I will take this opportunity to condemn ISIS and their ideology as a Muslim person, because that has nothing, I mean nothing, to do with Islam.
Now, let me ask you, last week in Europe, they allowed for, I think it was Berlin, they allowed for a demonstration. And the demonstration, the guys came dressed in ISIS outfits
black
and with their flag.
The ISIS black. That's
Now-
why the virus expanding.
If somebody was to go do a walking demonstration waving the ISIS flag over their heads and dressed up like these kind of people, good Americans?
Well, they are not good Americans, but this is the good thing about America, that they allow freedom of speech.
Well, we have limitations. You're not allowed to go ahead and incite people to kill.
No, of course not. But
know.
if you look what ISIS is doing today, and we can go to picture number 2, they are holding Christian people simply because they are Christian.
Is it
And
just because they can't find a decent Jew around?
they are crucifying them to death, and that is sick. That is sick, and I condemn that from the bottom of my heart. Yesterday, the head of Al-Azhar in Egypt,
And that's what?
his name is
No, what is that organization? Al-Hazar.
Al-Azhar is the biggest university in Islam in the Arab world.
Okay, and that's been the center of Sunni religious study for
For Islam.
like 1,000 years or more?
Exactly, for over 1,000 years. And it's a picture number 4. Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib. Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib, number 4.
There he is.
He is condemning ISIS, and that's the head of the Islamic University in the Arab world. He is condemning ISIS and their ideology, and they say they represent no Islam.
They just represent a group of people that have bloodlust. They, my understanding is that they're just doing mass murders. As many Christians, anybody that stands in their way, anybody that's been a member of any type of government agency in Iraq or Syria, they just kill for fun of it.
They have thirst for blood and power, and if you see how they flex their muscles, if we get picture number 3, they flex their muscles on 1-year-old child to terrify his family and his parent. And this picture has been taken before they shot that little child.
Now
It
that's three
killed
that's 3 guys
3 machine guns in
pointing
a head,
at a little baby, maybe a year old.
maximum a baby year old, because simply,
I mean, you can see the child's in distress and crying.
it is sick.
And
It is-
these 3 men thought it was a good idea to point the guns at the child's head. I mean, we're not even talking an inch away.
I didn't want to bring the picture after they shot
I
him.
don't want to see the picture after it, but I can
Yeah,
imagine.
It is sick. It is sick, Joe. It makes me sick to my stomach. These people's
Yeah, but let's something here. Wait a second here. We're in America. Why should this concern us?
well, when you have a virus anywhere, it will spread all over the world. They are in Europe today carrying the ISIS flag in Europe.
Right.
They are in China. They are yesterday, the day before, King Abdullah, the king of Saudi Arabia. King Abdullah invited President Sisi to Saudi Arabia, requesting special forces on Saudi Arabian borders to protect Saudi Arabia from ISIS.
Because they don't really have a professional army. They kind of have a...
They don't, and that's why they wanted the Egyptian army to assist them in protecting Saudi Arabia. And they start to vacate one of their air bases for the American Air Forces to start to really take serious action against this epidemic in Iraq.
Now,
and
that really
Syria.
hasn't gotten into, but there has been signs and there has been some flash-ups in Saudi Arabia. But the reality is ISIS isn't here in America. Or am I wrong?
ISIS here in America, because you understand as much as I do that we have no immigration control on our country at this time. Sadly, our border is wide open. Whoever want to walk in, our president welcome them and try to give them some kind of a status to stay. These people not gonna stay to greet us, but they gonna kill us.
But won't the other Muslims turn them in?
Well, I am one of the Muslims. And I announce my disgust and I condemn their actions.
Well, they
and
would knock on your door for assistance.
Well, so be it. So what? One of the.
But are you saying there's other people that would help them and facilitate them?
There is some sick people will, but the majority of the American Muslim people will turn them in if they find out that they exist.
So they're going to be very careful.
They have to be very careful, otherwise they have to deal with me.
And they probably they have to deal with you. And I don't want to deal with you.
I hope not.
No. But the reality is that if they're here, they're sleepers.
They
Hiding
are
out.
sleepers. It's like I was doing some work for the FBI and I find some Hezbollah sleepers in America, and I reported them, and they...
Why would you think Hezbollah would get involved with this? Do you think that they would associate?
Well, Hezbollah is the puppet in the puppeteer hand, which is Iran.
But Iran is not paying for ISIS.
Iran is not paying for... well, actually, you will be laughing that you know that America is paying for ISIS.
How's that?
ISIS is full of American weapons and Humvees and
That were left
tanks
behind in Iraq.
well, that's what taken from Iraq, but ISIS also is another arm for the Muslim Brotherhood.
Same.
And America was financing the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. America assisted President Morsi to become the president of Egypt. And President Obama was, until recently, he was pouring a lot of assistance to the Muslim Brotherhood, which is in their extension is ISIS and their extension is Hamas.
Now, ISIS doesn't need a whole bunch of money to move what it wants to do because it's based upon people wanting to do things that are crazy.
They are doing insane things by crucifying people. They just kidnapped 100 Yazidis believer women from their houses and to hold them, to serve them as a war-winning, they call it ghanima, where ghanima means something you won it in war. And they held these 100 women
As captives.
and that is just...
So they're going to be slaved until they decide to kill them.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that's why if we wanted to lead, we have to lead and we have to fight that virus.
Now, the reality is though they're being funded by some of the Gulf states, but not really the Gulf states, but some wealthy people in the Gulf states.
Well, the main financer for them is Qatar.
Qatar is financing ISIS?
Absolutely. And
Oh my
that is
God.
why Qatar is housing or giving a political asylum for Sheikh Qaradawi.
Which is the Muslim Brotherhood leadership.
Which is took over after Sheikh Omar went to prison in America. Sheikh Qaradawi in Qatar. Khalid Mish'al, the head of Hamas, hiding in Qatar. And the 5 Taliban leader who we released a month and a half ago are in Qatar as well.
having a good time, I would think.
Well, five-star hotels and a lot of fun.
Let's just hope that they have so much fun that they exhaust themselves and can't get into doing evil doings.
Well,
Now, with all these people, Qatar being such a bad place, and it financing, is there anything the United States can do about this financing liquidity? Is there any way they can close them down?
Well, I don't know about closing Qatar down, but at least we should not be doing deals with Qatar and ask Qatar to monitor the evildoers who wanted to do us harm. I don't know. How can that be?
So when you look at ISIS and you look at Hamas and you look at the Muslim Brotherhood and then you look at the various other organizations that are out there, Al-Qaeda, you kind of lump them in as one big group?
It is all one group, it's all one ideology under different leaderships, under different different colors and or names. But the bottom line, they all wanted to impose Sharia law, and they wanted to impose their ideology on the world.
Well, they don't want just Sharia law, they want their version of Sharia law.
Exactly.
Which basically means that there's only one supreme religion, and that's their religion, and being it's ISIS or the Muslim Brotherhood as a whole, it's the Sunni religion. So that's actually ultimately right now is they may have strange bedfellows by working with Hezbollah and working with Iran, because the enemy of their enemy is their friend, but
Exactly,
ultimately speaking, they're at odds with Iran.
They are at odds with Iran, but once the money come and once the finances come, Russia to Iran, Iran to Syria, Syria to Iraq, Iraq to ISIS, make a connection.
So you're saying that these people love America like you love America?
No, I do love America, but in a complete different way. I put my life and my family on the line for America because I do love this country.
And you believe in our ways?
I believe in the American way because here, where is the world? Where is the NATO? Where is France? Where is Germany? Where is these people from ISIS? They gonna get the virus of ISIS. Make no mistake about it.
It's already there, isn't it?
Make no mistake about it. I hope we just protect our American people before they come and destroy our way of life.
But they're coming, aren't they?
They are coming, and we have to be very, very vigilant and very, very alert.
You're just trying to scare people in their car, aren't
No,
you?
I'm not. I know how these people think. I lived with them. I ate with them. I penetrated
So
them.
those videos out there that the ISIS members are saying that they're coming to America, and the comments out there that there's hundreds of foreigners, including at least a few hundred Americans that are among the ISIS organization.
You better believe it.
That's a real threat?
You better believe it, Joe.
Well,
They
what are these
will
guys
be
willing
here.
to do?
They will blow bomb. They toppled the towers, the World Trade Center, after I tried to protect it in the first time in 1993. They kept after it until they toppled it down.
So they say what they're going to do, and they do what they're going to say.
It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if.
How can we stop them?
We have to be, like I said, it's not only the FBI or the CIA, it has to be every American. If you see something, you say something.
But doesn't that make us little spies, little snitches?
Well, we have to protect our way of life. We have to protect our home.
So you're saying to me a patriot is not going to allow a person to walk the streets wearing the black flag of ISIS, or the green covers of Hezbollah, or the green scarves of Hamas, or other things that relate to Muslim Brotherhood, without standing up and being heard?
No, they are sleepers. They will never come with the flag, and they are not.
Well, they're
gonna...
political activists that will do it.
Yeah, right. But they coming for another purpose, and their purpose is to kill Americans, not to wave the flag only.
So they're just going to sit there quietly and wait their time.
Absolutely. Until they get the green light from Iran, it will be chaos. It will be a lot of disease of ISIS everywhere in America, and I hope we pay attention in advance.
Well, let's just hope that the FBI and the CIA have the right peoples in the right chairs to do the right job, because 93 wasn't a black flags op. It wasn't run by the American government. They didn't try to blow down the things. The CIA were ignorant of what the Sheikh was involved with, weren't they?
No, it wasn't a black op operation, and I know that because I was there. I was the only American patriot undercover working to penetrate these people, and
That the CIA didn't know.
well, the CIA did what they have to do to compliment the Sheikh for his cooperation during the Russian-Afghan war.
But they weren't overseeing what he was doing when he came to the States.
They were not aware of that, and they couldn't even comprehend it until they heard his own voice on tape giving me orders to blow up bombs in the American army.
Shocked.
It is shocking, but it's true.
That they
We
should
have-
bring this kind of person to the United States and not oversee them in such a manner that they didn't even pay attention to the fact that he was getting up to do this.
They don't know how these evildoer think.
And would you say that it's still that today that there's a lot of people that are protecting this country that just really don't know their job well enough?
They don't know how these people think. They need education more, and they need more eye-opening to be able to understand how these people think, and they do what they say because they
Now,
have...
if ISIS comes here, you do realize that they will suspend our civil rights in this country. The Bill of Rights will become a piece of paper with no power.
Well, do you think we are in trouble already with our...
Well, yes. The Bill of Rights
Oh
is one of the
my
greatest documents here in the United States, and yes, I see the laws abrogating our rights bit by bit and actions of the government doing bit by bit. I am kind of shocked by our president going ahead and acting in a unilateral way that's inconsistent with the separation of powers that is set forth in the Constitution. It does shock me. I don't think that whatever he's going to do right now is going to either be overturned or undermined. I think whatever he's doing, he's going to get away with. And when the 2 years are up, there'll be a new president, and whether that person will undermine what he did or unwind from what he did will be another story.
He did something good last week. He gave orders to investigate how did the Palestinian Hamas build their operating headquarters or the operating rooms of headquarters of Hamas under the schools of the United Nations.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, isn't it?
Oh my God! I mean, America got the orders from the president to investigate that at the moment,
Right.
to see how truthful that is, and that is sad.
You know, what I understand from the readings that I'm going on is that the UN demanded that the Israelis provide them with more cement so they could do their projects, that they demanded 10 times what was necessary to build their schools, and the extra cement was used to build a command
The
center
tunnels, yeah.
and
the tunnels,
warehouses for their missiles, 30 meters, or I guess that'd be 90 feet, 100 feet underground from these buildings that they were built. You know, the Israelis can't really just go ahead and bombard the United Nations UNWRA facilities without permission, you know.
No, it is not. They just have to. They have to understand what's going on, and sadly, that Hamas had acted that way, and now they are exposing the Palestinian people to that danger. However, I liked what King Abdullah and the Emirates had just done lately. They announced that they will participate financially in rebuilding Gaza after this war. And unfortunately, Prince Tamim, and that's number 7 if we can get it. Prince Tamim is the crown prince of Qatar. He wanted to participate financially in rebuilding Gaza. This is Khalid Mash'al, the head of Hamas. He is hiding in Qatar as well. And Prince Tamim, this is Prince Tamim, we see him on the screen, wanted to assist in rebuilding Gaza, but the Egyptian president refused because that will expand the power of the Muslim Brotherhood into Gaza more than it is.
Well, supposedly they were going to extend the ceasefire today. However, rockets have been firing into southern Israel as of 12:16.
Uh-huh.
And it would appear that the Israelis agreed to at 11:30. The Israelis and Hamas agreed to extend the ceasefire, and then 16 minutes after the midnight, they started firing rockets at southern Israel.
Because they don't have a real command center. They don't have one leadership. If the head of Hamas hiding in Qatar and leaving his people to fight the war, I don't know what kind of leadership is there.
Yeah, well, it does appear that they fired many rockets from Gaza, despite the fact that this was supposed to be, I guess you can't really expect a terrorist organization to follow the average going of what a government would do.
No, they will not. And Egypt trying to control the atmosphere in the Middle East and trying to create at least some peaceful time between the Israelis and the Palestinian people. And the Palestinian people, if you look at it, Joe, they get a lot from being just neighboring to Israel. They get their electricity, 95% of the electricity coming to the Palestinian people is coming from Israel. 90% of the gas for their cars coming from Israel. Most of their medicine coming from Israel. But that is the Palestinian people. Who destroying that and spoiling that for them is Hamas and Hamas Act.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to separate Hamas from the people in the Gaza Strip when overall you don't hear a single Palestinian under Hamas rule speaking against them.
Well, they speak against them, they will be slaughtered on the spot. They kill their own people. What do you expect?
That's right. I read in an article that all these tunnel builders that they had, hundreds of them, they killed.
They kill their own people. They have no mercy. They just create troubles for themselves and for the Palestinian people. And like I told you, that every mean and way the Palestinian people living side by side to the Israeli people, they could enjoy that if they have their own state. Israel can provide the electricity for them. They buy electricity, they buy gas, they buy medicine.
Actually, the Israeli Electrical Corporation has been threatening to turn off the electricity because they haven't been paid.
Well, what can they can pay nothing. They don't have homes anymore.
Well, there you go.
The
there
whole
you go.
homes is being demolished.
And the one electrical plant that they had there that was running on oil, I guess, has been blown up because something hit one of their tanks.
Exactly. Yeah, they hit the tanks. Now, of course, they are being crippled. The Palestinian people paying a very hefty price today. They have no homes. No gas, no electricity, no medicine.
Well, there's 1.8 million people, and supposedly there's 100,000 homeless at this time.
Yeah, there are a lot of homeless and a lot of...
Should we feel bad for the Palestinian people who are being...
Absolutely.
But they're the ones that elected these guys to take control.
They did not elected them. They imposed themselves on the Palestinian people. I know for fact Palestinian people who ran away from Hamas.
Now, let's not forget, you're here today to sell the book, because we want people to go to Amazon. And this book is actually on audio, so that somebody can actually listen to the story while driving in a car.
Yes, it's in Amazon.com. You can download the audio. It's like for $7-8 on Amazon, something like that. And it will tell you a lot of facts about my work undercover against the Al-Qaeda when it started in New York, and how did the first World Trade Center bombing got bombed. Really, the real story, not what being published in the media outlets.
Now, listen, if you guys want to call in and ask a couple questions of Emade, you can call us at 888-565-1470, as long as the phone lines are up and running. And you can listen to this if you're live and see how handsome this guy is on WWNN Live. Should be WNNradio.com. You can watch us in a live stream. And this whole opportunity that you're being presented with is being brought to you by the People's Advocate. If you want to come in and get some help with some of your legal issues, our phone number is 954-320-6940. We're conveniently located in the South Broward area, and we're here to help. Hopefully, if you need some help with a bankruptcy, foreclosure, some debt issues, some estate planning or asset protection, give us a call. We're here for you. Once again, 954-320-6940. And we're going to take a break in a few moments. Hopefully, you'll have a chance to think about giving us a call at 888-565-1470. Look forward to hearing your input.
Are you losing sleep at night due to your debt situation? Call attorney Joseph Bryan today to sit down for a free consultation to discuss your rights. The People's Advocate is the trade name of the Bryan Law Group. The People's Advocate provides services to individuals and small businesses in bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sales, loan modifications, debt relief, consumer law, and estate planning in the South Florida area. Your initial consultation is free of charge. Proudly serving the South Florida community for over 21 years, Attorney Joseph Bryan will listen to your concerns and discuss options available to you. For more information, please call the People's Advocate at 888-828-9008. That's 888-828-9008. You are listening to the People's Advocate Hour with South Florida attorney Joseph Bryan. He keeps you informed about your rights when it comes to bankruptcy or foreclosure and wants you to be part of his show. Call 888-565-1470 and help him help you get informed. Now, back to our show.
All right, this is the People's Advocate Hour. The People's Advocate is there to fight for people's rights. Whether it be in a transaction, it's you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. When you're dealing with legal issues and you don't know the answers, knowledge is power. That's why you go sit down with an attorney and you get some information, you get some advice. You go to the person so that they can tell you what you need to know. Through that, you can have some options, you can have some confidence, and like I said, knowledge is power. And quite candidly, when you're dealing with things like this, you really want to get somebody to give you good advice. So should you want to come in and see us on a free consultation, our consultations are free. Please give us a call at 954-320-6940. You know, a lot of you people don't know it, but I've known Emade for a long time. I've known him actually since the late 90s. But of course, he didn't tell me who he was. He was still undercover. You know, he did tell me that he could judokan me to death, which means he could take me and throw me to the ground. He didn't, but I knew from one look at him that he probably could. And I noticed that he was a very hardworking guy, running a small business, and you actually came in to get some advice from me.
Yes, at that time I was living in
another name,
in another area, in another town, and under another identity, and I needed some legal advice, and I approached you at that time.
And you didn't tell me.
Well, I cannot tell you that who am I, and then
the attorney-client privilege. You could have told me.
Well, I had so many attorneys, and they still don't know who am I, and they deal with me under.
Do you know who you are?
I think I do.
Okay.
Who am I?
An American patriot?
I am. I hope I am. I think I love this country.
A fighter for the American way?
I am fighting for the American way. I was hoping to accomplish the American dream, but unfortunately, the lifestyle I became obligated to live deprived me and my family to live the American dream and have my own business and my own home.
Only to lose them?
I did lose everything, of course, especially in 1999 when the economy went south. I lost the business I established, and I lost the name I have at that time, and
All the creditworthiness was gone.
everything is gone. And I start to a new name, a new identity, and I start looking to establish credit and so on. And since
So
then,
somebody who really wants to support you would go out there and buy, say, 10 or 15 books from Amazon.com
yeah,
and share it with their friends.
well,
It's
I
a very,
hope
first of all, it's a pretty book.
they have to share the knowledge in the book. I'm being a little bit harsh on the feds in that book because I'm saying what really happened.
And they don't really want to hear it.
I don't know if they like it or not, but I have so many FBI agents who read the book. They said it's a nice read and a smile, and that's it.
Yeah, they're not, nobody wants to acknowledge they're wrong.
The people who committed the mistakes at the 1993 bombing, they are retired now.
And the 2001 that let that slide, they're retired now.
And they are retired now. There is only one actually agent still in the JTTF in the New York office. Only one still in the service. But most of these people is retired now. And
Do we have better people in the seats?
yes, we do. We have better understanding, at least.
Thank God.
Thank God. Better than what we had in 1993 and 91. And we had a hard time with
Now,
them.
when I first met you, you were much younger.
I was younger, yeah. Well, I'm still young, I guess.
Young at heart.
It's not because I lost a little bit of my hair that mean I am old.
No, that just means you have a lot of traffic up there.
A lot of traffic going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep my family safe and keep myself alive, at least.
You know, it's kind of scary with what's going on right now with the things that you're saying.
Well, I have no fear of anything except God, and I obey two laws in my life: God's law and man's law. And once I obey God's law and man's law, I have no fear of whoever wanted to kidnap me or kill me or this and that. I wouldn't take the decision to do what I had done.
You know, are you shocked by the way that the Israelis have handled the attack in Gaza?
No, this is a repetition to what has been going on between Israel and Gaza for so long, and it's not new. They demolished them before, and they tried to build themselves. And when Iran ordered Hamas to misbehave, they get punished.
Well, they actually started planning this back in 2012 when they received the funds to build the tunnels.
That's correct.
This has been a foreordained situation. The Israelis just finally had to go do something about it because it had gotten too far.
It is lose-lose situation. For
You know, the Israelis go in there and demolish Gaza. All there's going to be is a lot of dead Palestinians, a lot of dead Hamas Palestinians.
But don't forget, will be a lot of anger against Israel as well in the Muslim world.
But there was anger before.
Not as much as when the body piles go high. I mean,
And that's what Hamas wanted, right?
you got that. Well, Hamas don't care about the Palestinian, and that's what the Palestinian paying the price. Hamas hiding in Qatar and in the tunnels, and
What do you think when these guys come out and they see like their houses have been demolished? How do you think they're going to behave? They're going to be happy?
they will be unhappy. And I hope Egypt is working hard to broker this agreement to at least give the Palestinian a chance to breathe.
Now, the Palestinians just did a barrage at Israel, and so far it appears that Israel has not retaliated.
Oh, you mean Hamas, not
Hamas.
the Palestinian.
Hamas,
The
you're right.
Palestinian do nothing. The Palestinian is homeless at this moment, and they need some food, they need some shelter. But Hamas is creating so much troubles, and they should be stopped. That's the extension of the virus of ISIS, and that's the virus Iran trying to plant in the world.
Now, you know that ISIS is planning to put the black flag over the White House. What do you figure? Happening anytime soon?
Not soon. Not soon, I hope.
But, you know, they say they're going to do something. They often try to do it.
They can try, but that doesn't mean that they will succeed.
Do you see the United States succumbing to the ISIS way?
United States, hopefully our president just have some kind of awakening and start to slow down on this golf playing. I understand he's pressured and he needs some fresh air, but the American people will be so sick with bombings very soon. And then it will be a surprise. Oops. Again, oops. I'm tired of these oopses. Oops. ISIS coming to Iraq. Oops. The World Trade Center get bombed. Oops. I mean, this is really, really getting too much oopses in one time.
Now, if the Syrians had been in the position of the Israelis and they had to deal with the Gaza Strip, how do you think they would have handled it?
The Syrian people?
Yeah, the Syrian government. How do you think they would have handled it?
They will have their chemical weapons out and running. They had done it already.
So they'd carpet bomb, chemical bomb.
They chemical bomb their own
A few
people.
hundred Palestinians would have died?
Absolutely.
A few 100,000.
A few 100,000. And right now we got almost a couple of thousand Palestinian body.
Right. But
They
if this had been the Syrians,
Oh, the Syrians has no mercy. They are Shi'i, they are Iranian.
well, Alawi, right?
Alawiyin, they are, and ISIS is fighting the Alawiyin at the moment, but ISIS and Iran are friends as long as there is funds coming.
Right.
Yeah, and the Alawiyin who believe that Prophet Muhammad's cousin Ali is supposed to be the Khalifa, or the one who's supposed to be the successor of Prophet Muhammad. Today I saw the head of ISIS, Mr. Baghdadi, announcing himself that he is the Khalifa of Mu'mineen, and he announcing that he will lead the Muslim world to take over the entire Western world.
Now, do you think the fact that he has that beautiful gold Rolex gives him some credibility?
It gives him that he is a money seeker and a power seeker. That's all.
That's really what this is about.
That's all. What's all
Now,
about.
these murders of little kids and women and all this rape and pillaging and thievery. They're breaking into banks. They're breaking into, everything. They're just stealing and stealing and stealing. This is kind of some sort of crazy bloodlust.
That is a bloodlust, it's bloodthirst, and they are killing their own people. They are killing Sunni people like them. They are killing the Yazidis religion people. They are killing the Kurds.
Assyrians?
Everybody who will disagree with their way, they will just kill
Well,
them.
they're not even waiting to find out if they disagree. They're just killing them because they're not the same.
Exactly.
And they're doing this in like massive quantities. This is like just basically just a desire to kill.
Joe, how can you imagine in the 21st century there is people still being buried alive?
There's some people out there that have done that with their wives.
It's just crazy that they are trying to terrorize everybody, and people scared
It's
for
so
their
hateful,
life.
huh?
It is evildoer. It's evil on earth.
And do you see this lightening up anytime soon?
Well, I hope we stand for what we believe, and I hope we stand for ISIS, and we should cripple them.
And I think one of the best ways is to cripple Qatar, no?
Well, Qatar, Syria, we have to stop Syria from progressing, because Syria progressing due to the support from Iran.
Right.
And Iran progressing due to the muscle flexing from Russia.
And these wealthy sheikdoms or these wealthy people that are in the Gulf Emirates are funding ISIS
funding
with
Hamas.
impunity.
Yeah, funding Hamas. And
there's nothing that we can do on an international basis to stop them, is there?
I would like to mention also that why the American government or the American administration fight the Egyptian administration and let them go out. Now, today, as we speak, President Sisi is in Russia, getting weapons from Russia and planes and missile systems. And now President Obama felt that he needs the Egyptian government to help him with Hamas and getting a peace agreement.
Well, he's been very insistent on getting an extension on the truce, but I don't know how that's going to work if they're going to fire rockets at Israel.
Well, it's going to continue. Body bags there is no places to bury bodies anymore. They are running out of graveyards.
Yep.
In Gaza. It's sad.
Very sad. And this is coming to America, this sad state of affairs. We cannot avoid it. We cannot sit in our cocoon.
I hope we don't sit and wait until we say another oops.
And an oops would be another 9/11?
Another 9/11 possible, yes.
Or just an attack on a mall with thousands of people?
It would be attack on a mall. It would be attack on a water purification center. It will be attack on a movie theater. A mass killing, that's what it is.
And that's what they want.
That's what they know. That's what they do. In the gym I work out, I saw some sleepers, and I have the knowledge to distinguish between just a regular Iranian person or Iranian who received training and had the tattoos to prove that he is Hezbollah. And they are in my gym. I don't know when they're going to blow up that gym. When they get the green light from Iran.
And the truth of the matter is that why don't they love us? America is such a wonderful, lovable, it's like a big teddy bear. I mean, it's not like the little eagle I have, the vicious little eagle I have on my little coverlet. We're like, Smokey the Bear. We're adorable and lovable.
We're not always Smokey Bear, adorable and lovable. We have our own mistakes, Joe. I completely disagreed with the Iraq war, and I think we should not put boots on the ground in Iraq, but I do say one thing. I hope we stop ISIS before it hits in home here.
Drone them to death.
Well, do whatever it takes.
Well, I don't know, but there was an ISIS leader that was made a YouTube and says, don't be cowards, don't drone us.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's not coward to put 3 machine guns in the
face of a
child
little baby
head?
and blow them away? Yeah. I don't know. I think that the average person in ISIS and Hamas have came to America and tried to do just a partial amount of the evil doing that they do back home. They'd find themselves in a mini-max getting half an hour of yard time a day.
But see what you said, mini-max. That means they're going to get due process, and that's the good thing about America.
It is true. I mean, it is a lot faster just to put a bullet in the back of the head.
Well,
but that's their way.
That's not the American way.
That's the ISIS way, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, listen, I hope that you've enjoyed coming in to see us today.
It's my pleasure, and I hope that my voice goes around and people start to be vigilant and pay attention.
And I hope that people go out there and buy hundreds of copies of your books to support you in your next endeavor, since you've given up so much for this country.
Thank you so much, Joe, for inviting me.
They can find your book in Amazon.com.
That's correct. It's called Undercover.
And if they need any help from a lawyer, I'm here. Hey, give us a call at 954-320-6940. It was wonderful bringing you this information. In the past, we've given you a lot of information about the law, and it was entertaining. And I guess I brought you in because I wanted to establish the American way.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Anyways, this was us today at the People's Advocate. If you want to call us, give us a call at 954-320-6940. Call us for a free consultation. Leave the politics for the radio station. If you want to call back in and leave a message at 888-565-1470. We'll respond to your questions. If you want to send us emails to the website, www.nnradio.com. We've been live streaming. We're here to inform, to educate, and to protect the American way. Thank you for being here today.
You have been listening to the People's Advocate Hour with Attorney Joseph Bryan. Join Attorney Joseph Bryan next week on the People's Advocate, as you need to know your rights when it comes to bankruptcy or foreclosure. You can also contact our office at 954-889-7443 for a free consultation. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were